Hi guys, it's your Island Girl, and I'm back with another one for you today. And today I'm checking out American compared. Why other countries treat their people so much better. I am intrigued. I really want to hear this. All right, guys. So, without further ado, we're going to get right into this one. So, if you're new to my channel, it's the first time here, come on in, rock back, put a smile on your face, and enjoy. To all my regular schmegular day one, sweetie pie, sweetie poos, come on in, rock back, put a smile on your face, and enjoy. Let's get into this video. Let's get into this video because I really need to hear this one.
This episode and others like it are made possible by the generous support of my
Okay.
patrons on Patreon. If you'd like to help me make more content
I
like
want
this,
to hear
consider
this.
becoming a
I want
patron
to
at
hear your thoughts.
patreon.com/secondthought. I'm
Let's.
going to say something that will probably offend many of my viewers. Let me preface this by saying that I, as an American, include myself in the following statement.
Okay.
Americans are quite possibly the most willfully ignorant people on the face of the planet.
True.
We have access to the sum total of all human knowledge, yet our understanding of the world rarely extends beyond our own country.
Yep.
And even then, the majority of Americans believe in a vision of the country that does not actually exist.
True.
It's not that we're stupid, we just tend to blindly accept that the US is the greatest place on earth, and therefore don't see any reason to educate ourselves about the realities of the rest of the world. In this
I know the video just started, but he is so right at every point he just made. And to be honest with you, growing up, I used to believe that America was the greatest place on earth because of how hyped up and how it sounded and everything. But being here and living here for almost 11 years, I got stories.
This episode, we're going to pull back the curtain on how America actually compares to other countries, and consider why the richest country on earth fails to treat its people with dignity and fairness.
Ooh.
I'm going to provide a list of important topics, then for each item we'll compare the American experience with that of citizens from other nations.
Dang.
Hopefully by providing a side-by-side comparison, you'll be able to see the stark contrast between how most Americans see their country and how it really stacks up against the competition. To give you an idea of just how skewed the American perception of our country really is, let's start with a pretty shocking example. Compensation for what are considered low-skilled jobs. We'll take the quintessential American company, McDonald's. McDonald's is the world's largest restaurant chain by revenue.
Yeah.
It operates in over 100 countries and serves over 69 million customers every day. As of 2018, McDonald's was the second largest private employer, with 1.7 million employees, behind Walmart's 2.3 million. How many times have you heard someone refer to McDonald's jobs or workers in a derogatory manner? For some reason, people who work at McDonald's are seen as inferior or lazy or have any number of other unfair and unkind assessments leveled at them.
True.
This probably stems from the old notion of flipping burgers being a job anyone can perform. But the animosity towards low-wage workers has grown significantly in the past few decades. And in America, McDonald's workers really do suffer a low wage. As of 2020, the average crew member at McDonald's makes $9 per hour. The average McDonald's cashier makes $8 per hour. The federal minimum wage in the United States is $7.25, a rate which has not been raised in over a decade, and which should not be considered a reasonable wage for any position, considering the fact that a full-time minimum wage worker cannot afford to rent a 2-bedroom apartment anywhere in the United States.
Can you believe
and
that?
Can't afford a 1-bedroom apartment in over 95% of US counties. Now, the all-too-common response to data like this is something like, well, yeah, it's not a hard job. You should just find a better one. Here's a simple question. Should any job, regardless of technical skill required, pay workers so little that they cannot afford to rent even the smallest place to live?
Where do I start? I know he's not done. Minimum wage, you can't even maintain your own self. You might as well you go have a roommate or hang out on somebody's couch. How messed up is that? A job is a job, and McDonald's workers are looked down on so much. Well, the rate has risen. So now they're starting pay now, because I just passed the sign, I keep looking at it, is anywhere from $13 to $15 their hourly wage now. So because there was kind of a little riot or stuff going on with people say, okay, the minimum wage has to be raised, so because we can't live like this. So yeah.
To mention other necessities like utilities, food, and medicine. Absolutely not. That is inhumane and cruel. especially coming from the second largest employer in the richest country on the planet.
Exactly.
Other notable objections include McDonald's has to make a profit. If they pay their workers more, they might go out of business.
Really?
First of all, if you can't pay your workers a fair wage, your company should not be in business. End of story.
Period,
But
point blank.
again, McDonald's is not struggling to make ends meet. In
Nope.
2019, McDonald's raked in $21 billion in revenue. But no matter how obvious the exploitation of low-wage workers, Americans are hell-bent on praising the very companies doing the exploiting. Take this article on Reader's Digest, for example. It's titled, "This is what McDonald's workers really get paid." You see that and think, oh, nice. Finally, some news showing how poorly these workers are compensated.
Nope.
Then you scroll down and nope, they're actually praising McDonald's, saying things like, the food chain is also great for paying their workers fairly. And McDonald's is one of the highest paying fast food chains in the United States.
Lie.
This level of sycophancy is insane. If $8 or $9 an hour is some of the highest pay in the industry, that doesn't indicate that McDonald's is paying fairly. It indicates that a massive chunk of the population is being paid poverty wages.
Yep.
This is where taking an international perspective is so critical. If all you see is feel-good stories about how well McDonald's workers are paid, you'll never know how badly American workers are actually being treated. Let's take the same company, the same position, but in a different country. Here's a McDonald's in Denmark. The average McDonald's worker in Denmark, for doing the same low-skill job, makes $22 per hour.
What? Did he just said, I'm looking at $22 per hour. Are you serious? Nah. I'm sorry, guys. I was shocked when the 22 bump up in front of me because I was thinking around maybe $17, $18. $22 an hour? That's the starting off pay for most.
Well, hold on, you hear Reader's Digest scream from across the Atlantic. McDonald's workers in America get paid vacation days after just a year of work.
Oh, please.
Wow, enticing. In Denmark, when you're hired at McDonald's, not only are you making nearly 3 times what you would make in an American Mickey D's, you also instantly have access to a full year of paid family leave and a pension. No slaving away for a year to prove your value to the company. You're hired and you're treated fairly. Simple as that. McDonald's can afford to compensate all their workers like this, but they won't, because U.S. laws allow them to exploit American workers to the point where they're basically slaves, earning the bare minimum to survive, paying all of their income and often going into debt just to pay rent, and having no way to escape this vicious cycle because they're working such long hours.
Jeez.
This is the case across all of America's low-wage jobs, of which there are many. The plight of the low-wage worker is incredibly dire. And all you have to do to understand that is look at how those same workers are treated in other wealthy countries. Let's move on to another topic. Work-life.
I'm not gonna lie. I tried working 2.5 years ago because I've been a stay-at-home mom since I started having kids. And I tried working 2.5 years ago. 2.5 years ago, 2019. Nope, lie. I'm lying. We're in 2024. I can't even check. This is sad. Around 2021, I started working at a wholesale supermarket retailer at nights doing night work. Because I said, let me test it out because I cannot miss anything from my kids. I know I'm yapping. Sorry, guys. And they were offering me $11 an hour for night shift, from midnight until around 6 in the morning. And they're giving me $11 an hour. Grown ass me. Sorry. I was shocked out of my wits starting pay. And I have to work for 7 months first, so-called probation, before I can see a raise in pay. And the raise in pay is only going to be not even $1. It was 90-something cents. I was like, nah, I ain't doing this. No. No way, no how.
Balance. Fair wages are definitely part of this equation. If you're paid fairly, you don't need to work a second job, which will free up your time to be spent elsewhere. But we're going to focus on other metrics, specifically the length of the work week, vacation time, and parental leave. Let's start with the US. Most Americans would say that 40 hours per week is full-time. That seems to be the general consensus.
Yep.
But, in keeping with the country's exploitative labor practices, the hilariously named Fair Labor Standards Act does not actually define what qualifies as full-time. That's left up to the employer. Okay, why does this matter? Well, think of your past part time jobs. Did you get any benefits?
Nope.
Healthcare, 401k?
Nope.
Probably not. Most benefits, when they're offered at all, are reserved for full time employees.
Yes.
Companies don't want to provide benefits because they affect their bottom line. America is all about cutting costs, and providing workers with fair compensation is a cost. So, imagine you apply for a full time job at Best Buy. You're offered the job, but they tell you they only have part time positions, but they
Yep.
can give you almost full time. They make it sound like they're doing you a favor, offering you more hours than normal part time. But this is just another example of employers exploiting their workers. If
Sad.
you work 37 hours per week, you're essentially a full time employee, but they don't have to provide you any sort of benefits. No
Nope.
health care, no vacation, nothing. This is a common practice. Companies will hire people but keep them just below the threshold for full time to avoid providing fair compensation. I've seen it happen. I used to work at Best Buy and they would do it all the time. And that's just the companies who are still trying to appear generous. Others will simply not offer benefits at all, or set their full time positions at 50 or 60 hours per week. Sales positions are notorious for this. They'll often say, well, we expect you to work 40 hours, but all the top sellers are working 60 to 70 hours per week. This is coercion. They're trying to pressure you into working more hours to benefit them, and the compensation is never what they claim it will be. By allowing employers to define full time work, American workers are held captive by corporations, forced to either work absurd hours to qualify for full time benefits or find a second job to help cover the cost of things like health insurance. Both of these options lead to a terrible work life balance, and as real wages have decreased and benefits have been offered less and less over the years, huge numbers of American workers have developed an unhealthy work life balance. For example, in 1960, when workers had real bargaining power, only 20% of American women worked. Today, 70% of children live in households where both parents are working full time. Where does all this lead? As of 2020, over 85% of American men and 66% of women work more than 40 hours per week. We work 137 more hours per year than Japanese workers, 260 more than the British, and 499 more hours per year than the French. Why do other countries have such a better balance? Because many of them have laws that cap the length of the full-time work week. Companies are required to pay their workers fairly and allow enough time off for employees to maintain a healthy work-life balance. That's not the case in the US. Vacation time is a similar story. Whereas many other countries mandate that employers provide paid vacation and sick days, the US does not. In
Nope.
every industrialized nation, workers get more paid vacation days and holidays than in the US. Here's a depressing graph to illustrate just how poorly we treat our workers. France 31, Spain 34, Austria 38, America 0.
Zero.
0 paid vacation days, 0 paid holidays. And remember, these are the mandated figures. Every Austrian worker gets a minimum of 38 paid days off per year. Even in the worst possible employment situation, they'd still get 38 paid days off. In the US, many workers are lucky to get Christmas or Thanksgiving off at all, and the odds that it's a paid holiday? Next to 0. Let's move on to our
I am literally upset. I am literally mad. I am so upset and sick to my stomach. It's not even funny. This is ridiculous. This is madness. This is sad. This is wrong on every level you can think it. I am so mad. I'm so pissed. I'm so oh boy, this is sickening. It is sickening because he's right. Because when I was doing that work, there was no health care, there was no 401k, there was nothing at 11. How much? At $11 an hour. Here, you can't even really if you call it, you better turn up sick. Turn up sick. You're not getting paid for the days that you don't turn up at work. Oh, you're not getting paid for those. And if you're sick, you better figure out a way to turn up at work, and they'd rather see you come there and they'll send you home and say, okay, take a half day off or so. Not to mention vacation time. Walmart, Best Buys, Fred Meyer, Kroger, whatever supermarket chains you can think of. When it come on to part-time workers, minimum wage, one, two, no vacation, no, you have to work a certain period of time before you can get paid vacation. You don't get paid vacation before you can get time off. It's not my bad. Before you can get literally time off from work. And you have to fight for that time off. Because guess what? Long time workers have senior workers have picks. Can you believe that? They have picks into when they want to take vacation, and whatever jegs is left over, the newer workers get that. And this is not something that I'm guessing. This is facts that I'm telling you about. It's messed up and it's wrong. It is so wrong. When I stop and I listen to this,
Our final comparison: paid parental leave. Many Americans aren't even aware this is a thing, so let me explain. When an employee of a company has a child, sometimes they're offered parental leave, a period of time where they can stay home from work to bond with and take care of their new baby. This greatly benefits the employee, the child, and in the long run, the company, because the employee will be happier, less stressed, and more loyal to the company. Of course,
true?
offering paid parental leave doesn't benefit corporations in the short term. And if there's one thing that encapsulates the American business philosophy, it's short-term gains over all else.
Yep.
So it won't surprise you to learn that the US is the only industrialized nation on the planet that does not mandate some amount of paid parental leave.
Yep.
This may be shocking to my American viewers because being able to get paid to spend time with your newborn child sounds like an impossible dream in our dystopian labor market. And honestly, it probably is impossible in our current America. We're so invested in self-destructive capitalism that even suggesting the possibility of paid parental leave would put US politicians out of a job. That's not the case in the rest of the industrialized world.
Wow.
In fact, every other OECD nation, and even in many third world countries, new parents are guaranteed at least several weeks of leave.
Yep.
Let's take a look at a few of them. Ethiopia, a country with an annual gross national income of under $900 per person, offers 90 days of leave with 100% pay. Madagascar, 14 weeks at 100%. Afghanistan, 90 days. Denmark, 52 weeks. Norway, 56 weeks. France, 16 weeks at 100% pay for your first child, up to 26 weeks for your third, on top of 104 unpaid weeks. Lithuania, 52 weeks at 100%, plus an additional 50 weeks at 80%. Again, the United States does not mandate a single day of paid parental leave, even for the mother, and the father is never considered. This means that workers in America have to choose to either pay the exorbitant cost of childcare or have one parent quit their job in order to take care of the child. These are both bad options, which often lead to economic precarity. But that doesn't matter to the companies employing American workers. Profit is the only thing that matters. Hopefully, seeing these labor practices compared like this has made it clear that not only is the US not living up to its claim to being the greatest nation on earth, but also that it consistently ranks poorly and often dead last in terms of labor metrics. Why is it that the wealthiest, most powerful nation on earth can't pay their workers a fair wage, or provide healthcare, vacation time, or paid parental leave? You should realize by now that it's not that they can't, it's that they won't.
They won't.
Everything in America is beholden to the almighty dollar. Profit is the only motivator. If an action does not produce a greater profit, it will not be considered.
Exactly.
Over the last few decades, Americans have watched as our livelihoods, our quality of life, and our dignity have all been stripped away by those who already make obscene amounts of money.
Yep.
Those in power say we're all in this together, but that couldn't be further from the truth. The ultra-wealthy and the world's largest corporations rely on Americans remaining ignorant. They rely on us accepting the lie that America is the greatest nation on earth, that it couldn't possibly get any better. All you have to do to shatter that lie is to take a look around the world. Other nations take care of their citizens. Even impoverished nations, or nations that we've bombed into oblivion, take better care of their people than the US does. American workers need to relearn the language of class struggle and work together to break the wheel of the capitalist machine. If we want to claim that the United States is the greatest place on earth, we need to make it that way.
Yep. This was well put. You hear what I say, man? This was well put. I appreciate how he said it in the end. We all need to work together. Because We, the people, are the one that allow all of this to happen. The people. You think everybody start boycotting and doing this and come together and do things wouldn't change? Of course it would. But so many people are afraid. Can you imagine? Paid vacation time when you have a baby. Here, my heart hurts. I have 5 kids. 5 kids. And I don't know how other people do it. I swear to you. I cannot tell you how people get up and leave their baby because it's one of the hardest things for me to do. My hats to those who have a baby and go right back to work. The other day, I was talking to this healthcare worker, and she said to me, she's like, let me explain something to you. There are mothers who have their baby today and go back to work tomorrow. I said, what are you saying? To me, I said, are you serious? You can't be serious. She's like, yes. They don't have a choice. They have to go back to work. They're the only provider in the home. And if they don't do that, they cannot provide for themselves and their family. I was so shocked. I could not believe. I said, a day-old baby? She's like, yes. Because I was applying to open a daycare in my home, and they're like, so many home daycares are needed because people cannot afford to stay home with their kids. So, and we don't have enough daycares to take in kids. And when I heard that, and I'm doing the classes and I hear that, I was, like I said, shocked. They're like, they don't get paid time off. America, the so-called greatest place on earth, one of the best country in the world, superpower, and yet still the workers, their citizens are treated like crap. The workers are treated like crap. Not to mention, the dads don't get time off either. They don't get time off. It depends on the kind of job you're doing and how long you're working there. If they do get a little time off, they'll get a 1 month paid. They get 1 month paid vacation or 1 month unpaid, but they'll have their job when they get back. 1 month unpaid. I shouldn't even say paid. 1 month unpaid to stay home with the mom. And that's a risk they can't even take. And you have to be in that company for at least a year before that can happen. This is sickening. This is sad. It is so sad. I'm telling you, I'm looking into more and more to leave this place. Because my heart hurts. This pains my heart just to watch, just to listen. I love you guys. I know this one got me down, guys. I'm so sorry. It's the Island Girl and I'm running out of here. Don't forget to give this video a big slap so more and more people can wake up and see that, listen, there are other places in the world, even third world countries, that treat their citizens way better. No, this ain't it. Don't forget to share this video. Slap the like button. I love you guys. And I'll catch you guys in another video. Alright, guys? Put your request in the comment section and it will be done. It's the Island Girl. Don't forget to do what? Right back. Relax. Continue to put a smile on your face, no matter what. Keep that smile on your face. Continue to enjoy life. Alright, guys? Bye. Man, this hurt me to the core, guys. It does.